Hey, Tony Gaskins here. Now, we kind of still in the series of talking about the spirit a little ugly, but that kind of led me into this. So, not necessarily all the way the same, but I saw like some comments on this video that I did a long time ago about this topic, and I never watched it back. Can't remember what I said. So, I probably say all the same stuff because principles don't really change. But before we get into it, make sure you click the link in the description to see the YouTube channel investment opportunity. Everything is there, all the numbers. You'll see what the channel earned in the last 12 months, and then you'll be able to see the different categories. Thank you to everyone who has already supported it. It's amazing. If we hit the minimum, then it'll be activated. If not, then everything will be reversed and I keep on rocking how I've been rocking. But thank you so much. The link is in the description. If I forgot to put it there, then check the last video and it'll be in there or somewhere. But I want to touch on this because this is something that I have noticed that is, it's heartbreaking to see. And I see it every day. And to be honest with you, it's why I do the work that I do. Because when I met my wife at 21 years old, I still was a young man. And I sat down and we talked for 6 hours. And I remember getting up and calling my mom, calling my homeboy, calling my sister and saying, hey, I just met my wife. And I had a homegirl that I grew up with. She actually was like the only girl on the basketball team. And then she was one of two girls in the basketball league when I was coming up. And me and her was cool. And I remember she told me, she was like, Tony, and it's all relative now because we're from a small little city and all of that. But she said, Tony, you're the biggest player I've ever known. You should write a book. And so I was getting out the game. 22 years old, I was retiring out the game. And as I was writing this book, my first book, What Daddy Never Told His Little Girl, which may be on Amazon. So one of y'all sent it to me. So I'm going to republish it. And I'm writing this book. And then I noticed my family, like the women in my family, just losing in relationships. So that gave the book purpose. Like I was able to put my heart in all of the books. And that one, Single is Not a Curse, Mrs. Right, Make It Work, Real Love, and A Woman's Influence. Trying to think if there's any other relationship books I got out there. And then I got some smaller little type of books, lessons from Ruth and Boaz and stuff like that. But that's what made me really want to take it serious because I started to see, and I remember talking to my mama. I'm like, Mama, y'all, like it's women in their 40s and 50s that's falling for eighth grade games. And I just could not believe it. And every single woman that I have coached, that I've tried to help in this space, which I probably have worked with at this point, one on one, over probably over 3,000 women. So imagine working with over 3,000 individuals one on one and hearing all the stories and the amount of stories that I have heard. And what is mind boggling and earth shattering is my oldest client is 73. And even her on our coaching calls still was learning about men. So, and then my clients that's in their 20s, they literally have to like sign up for a program where they can ask questions every day. Like I have certain clients that's going through some real tough stuff and I have to walk them through on the text message step by step, like what to say to this text, what to say to this text. Like they really kind of made the movie Hitch off of my life, like in a real talk situation. But it's mind boggling to me the differences between men and women. And I want women to understand this. And this is going to be hard to understand because it's against your nature. And typically the women who get this, they don't get it until they're bitter and broken and angry and like a man eater, a man hater. But I want you to get this in your peace and get this in your prosperity, get this in your femininity, get this in your womanhood. I want you to understand that a man is not your God, and that a man has no power over your life and over you, and that you are supposed to surrender to God first, and then you only submit unto your husband. You don't submit to boyfriends, meaning you don't let a boyfriend dictate and determine your whole life like a tyrant or a controller, nor do you let a husband do that, but you won't get into that situation with a husband if you pay attention in dating. So the first thing that you got to realize, and now these not in order, but I'm just flowing with the spirit. I don't have it written down or anything, so I may leave some stuff out, but if I do, I'll do a follow-up. The first thing you need to realize is you have to know who you are. Like, you got to have your standards. And what I mean by that is standards like you don't kiss on the first date. You go on 10 dates before a man can come to your place or you go to his place. You talk on the phone for 10 hours before you meet the man in person, if that's an hour a day. You don't let the man disrupt your schedule, keep you up past your bedtime, get you in trouble at work. You have to have your standards. And what it'll be good is to write it down on a piece of paper to where it shouldn't be so long, but write it down to where you could write it upon the tables of your heart. You shouldn't have to pull out no cheat sheet while you're at the date, but you should have hard and fast rules that say, I'm not sleeping with a man inside of 6 months. Now, as a Christian, I teach abstinence until marriage, but we have a lot of people that are Christian and are not abstinent, don't want to be abstinent. And then we have people who aren't Christian and they're not. So at the least, even if you are a heathen, if you done been a prostitute, you done been a stripper, at the least a man should have to wait 6 months. Now, I don't condone that, but y'all understand that I try to help everybody who come over here and not just stiff arm them and shun them just because they ain't all the way where they need to be in they walk with God. The same way Jesus forgave the adulterous women and sat with them or talked with them and told them their story and forgave them of their sins. I try to be the same way in the sense of last week, I think it was last week, I coached, the lady hired me for coaching and she's a stripper. And I told her, hey, it's a no judgment zone. She was like, I know how you feel about strip clubs. I watch your videos. And I'm like, that's cool, but I respect you trying to get some help. I respect you trying to make a change. So I'm not judging you, but I feel how I feel. I hate strip clubs because I don't like reinforcing the objectification of a woman. And she was like, no, I get it. I get it. And she was in her early 20s. She's in her early 20s. And I have clients who are strippers in California, Texas, Florida. This young lady was up north. So I say that to say it don't matter what you believe in or whatever. If you Christian, you pushing for abstinence. But if you're not and you're not walking it, 6 months need to be the minimum. And will y'all tell somebody that? Like, will y'all put that on a billboard? Like, I'm gonna start me a foundation to where I'm raising funds for PSAs. I'm raising funds for PSAs to put it on billboards around the country. Like, we are so nasty as a society. We so disgusting. And I didn't realize it until I came out of it. Like they say, hindsight is 2020. When I came out of it, that's when I realized how nasty we are. A lady was trying to justify her and her husband. They slept together on the first night. That's another thing that women need to understand. You do not know men. You do not know men. That's why I'm doing the work I'm doing. So just because somebody slept with you on the first night and y'all got married don't mean he not gay. And that you a cover up don't mean that he not sleeping with other women still to this day on the first night. Don't mean that that's the way you're supposed to do it just because you ain't catch AIDS or you end up married. That don't tell nobody that. Take that to your grave. Tell your kids and your grandkids y'all was abstinent till marriage. Don't tell nobody you slept with a man on the first night. Don't ever let that come out your mouth. Keep that to yourself because that is not a badge of honor. That is not something to be proud of. That is not no testimony. We don't want to hear about that because the thing about it is you got to know who you are. And this one thing I want you to that I want to help you understand if you are a woman watching this. If you know who you are, you will get what you deserve. You will get what you want. So, do you know that there are people who go and get a job and they do the same job, but they get paid differently? Relevant example right now, LeBron James' son, Bronny James. There are people who had a way better college career than Bronny James, and he's about to make, he's going to be making millions per year. He'll make over $1 million a year. There's people that's better than him, better college career, but they make half of what he make, or less than half of what he make. There's people who's better than him that didn't even get into the NBA. But you know why? It's because of what his agent negotiated. Yes, because his daddy, but it's also because of what his daddy negotiated without negotiate. So you have to realize that as quiet as it's kept, you get what you negotiate. You get what you demand, not what you worth, not what you deserve. So if you know you're worth a commitment, you have to demand a commitment, and don't take the word as you yelling at the man or something, but you don't settle for less. It really make me throw up in my mouth how women don't understand their power, how women don't understand their positioning. Like the first man on earth took the instruction of a woman. Like that, this the first man on earth. This man was put to sleep, and Eve was created from his rib, and then he let her influence him. If that don't tell you how much influence a woman got, here goes some big behind. He pushing all this stuff down. He knocking down stuff. He whooping everybody behind. And then he let a little old woman trick him out of his spot. Like, look at the amount of men who have given up their entire life, given up their destiny. The men who have lost their life behind a woman. As a woman, you have to understand that, and you have to channel that for good. Meaning you have to stand on your standards. You have to know who you are, know whose you are, know what you want, and you have to refuse to compromise. And this is the thing, like you got to think about like poker, chess. Like I don't even play these games, but I understand the concept. Look them up and learn stuff from them. Learn how to play chess, learn how to play poker. Google on YouTube, look up the art of negotiation. Learn negotiation tips and tactics. I looked that up one time because I handle all my deals. I don't have an agent. So when I'm doing negotiations with corporations and companies for deals, I do it myself. And so I went to YouTube and I looked up like negotiation rules, how to negotiate. And the video that popped up, it said rule number 1, don't negotiate. I say, what? This say 10 rules to negotiation. How's rule number 1? Don't negotiate. That thing hit me. So you know what? I don't negotiate. This is my price. And this what it's going to take for this to be a win for me. And if you can't do that, hasta luego, hasta la vista, baby. I ain't negotiating. So when I learned that right there, so here's the thing. If you a woman, I know women who have had men wait on them until marriage. Now, this the thing. Any man who meets a woman who is who he is looking for, like in the looks department, in the brains, in the 3 B's, brains, brand, body, he will wait until marriage. If he is a heterosexual man, and if he wants to be married, and he wants to be faithful, and he values women, he will wait until marriage. If you don't want to wait until marriage, he won't wait until marriage. If you will sleep with him on the first night, he will sleep with you on the first night. You very rarely gonna meet a man who you ready to sleep with him and he tell you he ain't ready to sleep with you. You very rarely. You might get 10 men out of 1,000 that will turn down that right there offer if you giving your body to him. So this what you got to understand. Just because a man accepts it doesn't mean he wants it. Meaning he could live without it. You got to really think about men and what men have lived without. You got to think about what men go through. What you think a man do when he is deployed and he in the woods as an airborne ranger or Navy SEAL? What you think a man do when he got to be out here on a mission? What you think boxers doing when they training for a fight 8 to 12 weeks and they can't be with women because they got to keep their legs and they got to keep their mind sharp? Like, as men, we built for war. When you built for war, that means you built for sacrifice. So what we do as men, what men do is we do the Jedi mind trick, as one lady called it when she was talking to me. We do the Jedi mind trick on a woman and we make you think that you're worthless if you won't sleep with us. We'll make you think that we will leave you. We'll make you think we will cheat on you. We will make you think and all that. And then so some women say, well, my guy did cheat on you. That's because you're not his wife. You holding somebody else's husband hostage. Your husband not going to cheat on you. The man who meant to be yours, he's not finna twist your arm and talk you to you blue in the face just to get you in the bed, because it's not that serious. Because the thing about it is the feeling that a man get from taking care of himself with Angela, it's the same feeling. It's the same end result. Now, it might feel a little different as far as the texture or whatever, especially he got calluses on his hand and all of that now. But other than that, it's the same end result. The body had the same chemical release. Like the brain released the same chemical, body feel the same. So for man been living without you all this time, he could continue to go without that. And now there's men who they abstain for fun. Like they abstaining for what they call semen retention, what's called semen retention, and they abstaining for other reasons. So sleeping with a woman is not about that woman stuff being good. It ain't about, some women think that they smell so good or they look so good or they so sexy, a man just can't control himself around her. Don't flatter yourself. Don't flatter yourself. That's the wrong thing to do. It ain't got nothing to do with that. It's about control. It's about mind control. Think about it. You got to really process this now. When you sleep with a man, you telling that man that you willing to die for him. Because you ain't got Magic Johnson money. You catch that heel kill you. Yeah, I don't care about these little pills. They got all these little pills they be promoting. I be trying to watch Hula and Apple Plus and all of that, and they keep promoting all these AIDS pills. and showing, and then they showing gay men on there. I'm like, well, if y'all ain't sending a message, if y'all ain't, y'all gotta forgive my wife text me. If y'all ain't sending a message, sorry about that. My son texted me too. He got 100 on his government quiz. He trying to get out the groundation he got tomorrow night because I told him to be in bed by 11 the other day, and come 10:58 he getting him, he eating some pancakes. I said, grounded Friday. He said, what about if I just don't eat and I go to bed? I said, too late, because you should have already been on time. You put already be in the bed, grounded. No game, no video game Friday after school. I'm a 17-year-old. Got to teach them all the way. And so this is the thing. Sorry about that, my wife. You have to realize this, that the man, you catch that HIV, oh, you up out of here. You catch syphilis, you catch genital warts. Like, I have a lot of clients, and we have coaches on my mentor.life who coach on having herpes, but like the genital herpes. And so it's a very common thing. And I have a lot of clients who have like the genital herpes. Some of them are, I don't know what you call it, asymptomatic, and they have no signs and all of that. And then some of them, they do have breakouts and stuff. But it's like, that's what you telling a man when you sleep with him. You telling him. So why would you tell a man that on the first night that you willing to die? Why would you tell him that before marriage? Because marriage is until death do you part. So he put some bacteria in you in marriage, then that's different. That's your husband. But why would you risk catching bacteria that could have you cross-eyed and slobbing? Like, why would you do that to yourself? So the thing about it is, the one thing that all humans respect is humans who know their worth. Like, I've been getting a bunch of people reaching out to me every day, asking me about podcast interviews. I'm turning them all down because I got my own podcast. I got to sit here and talk. Why do I got to go on somebody else's platform and talk when I could talk here? So if I don't know them personally and I'm doing them a favor because I know they're going to get more views by interviewing me because I done built the brand, then they will just on their own. So I help people out to be their first episode, to help them get a good jump start. And then after that, I have no interest in going back and going back and going back and all of that. So guess what? Every single person, if I have a price, it's a price. I remember there was a white female. She's an Olympian. She's a gold medalist swimmer. And her agent came to me to write her book, to ghostwrite her book. And this was several years ago. I told them $10,000. They came back, said, can you do it for $7,500? I said, nope, my price is $10,000. And that's a discount already now. And guess what? They paid the $10,000. When I did a deal with a Fortune 500 company that make $150 billion a year, they offered me $20,000 for a promo thing. And I told them we need to start at 40. And then they asked for 10 social media posts. I told them it's 3,500 per social media post. They came back and said, hey, instead of 20, can we do 75? I said, okay, we got a deal. 75. They more than tripled. They almost quadrupled their initial offer. That's what you got to understand about negotiation. Don't negotiate. So you can't go in and then compromise your standards. You can't go in and be like, and I can't tell you how many times women be like, tell a man, oh, I don't normally do this. That is a joke amongst men. Hey, did she say she'll normally do this? Yeah, right. Yeah, right. Oh, dirt diggler. Girl, you get dug off here talking about you'll normally do this. Yeah, right. And guess what? That could be the truth. And you might be doing something you don't normally do because he 6'6", or he made 6 or 7 figures, or you've been without a man for 8 years. For whatever reason, you compromise. But guess what? We don't do as men. We don't give you the benefit of the doubt. So when you go to, oh, I've never done this before. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. That's what they all say. He ain't gonna say that to you. He gonna say, no, I understand. I understand. And I respect you all the same. Like, I don't look down on you. Like all these guys out here that's talking about, oh, they judge a woman because she sleep with a man on the first night. Like, that's childish, man. That's little boy stuff. That's what he tell you to your face. But as soon as you get up out that bed on that one night stand, or even on a 3-night stand, meaning it's the 3rd date, on the 5th night stand, after the 5th date, he still look at you like loose booty. She loose. Because another thing that men don't do, once men come to a certain age, men stop feeling like that he the man. So if you give it up to him, he looking at you like, okay, if she let me hit on the first night, that means she's sleeping with 365 men a year. If she let me hit in the first month, that means she's sleeping with 12 men a year. If she let me hit within the first 2 weeks, that means she's sleeping with 24 men a year. So a lot of times women don't understand the message that you sending, and that message could be absolutely wrong. Like, it could be completely, but you represent you. So you have to know who you are. Now, the next thing that a man is going to respect, the next part of a woman that a man is going to respect, is a woman who reciprocates, but she does not chase. So when you're dealing with him now, when you're dealing with a real man, all the little in terms of endearment, boo, hun, sweetie, babe, lame. You desperate. You desperate. You give an auntie energy. You give an auntie energy, and that's not sexy. It's not attractive. So you can't chase a man. You could reciprocate. So you let the man call you. You let the man set up the date, set up the trip, and you make sure that he talking to you every single day. If you meet a man and he don't reach out to you every day, cut him off. Cut him off. Somebody, and it's women that be like, oh, every day is a bit much. Yeah, that's what you've been conditioned for. But listen to how stupid that sound. How are you dating for marriage, but saying that a man calling you every day is too much, when you fixing to be living with him every day for the rest of your life? He fixing to be looking at your used tampons. He finna be listening to your little machine gun booty where you passing gas in the middle of the night because you've been holding it all day. And then your body finally relax, and now you go to passing gas. He finna be listening to your burping. If you get chin hairs that you got to get waxed or you got to get lasered, all of that. So he finna see your most closest, most embarrassing, most uncomfortable moments. So why would a woman say, I don't want no man calling me every day? Well, what you want to be? A prostitute? Prostitutes don't get called every day. You want to be a stripper? Man don't go to the strip club every day. But if you want to be a wife, then you have to require daily communication. And when he doesn't do that, it's because sometimes he got other women, or other times it's because he has been conditioned to think he a bugaboo if he reach out to you every day. If a woman feel like a man reaching out to her every day is a bugaboo, that means she don't feel like he her husband. She just feel like he a nice guy and she going through the motions. He is a practice dummy. He on the practice squad, she in training camp, and he on the scout team. He is the scout team dummy. And so some men will say, oh, I ain't gonna reach out every day because I don't want to be that type of guy. And you know why men do that? Men do that because men know that a woman is going to be fantasizing him on the days missed. And men know also that a woman is going to be, and if y'all want, oh, what advice for men? Look at my video earlier today and touching over. And the man knows that the woman gonna give him credit for the days he missed, and a man knows that a woman want what don't want her. And so I call it human physics. When a man chase a woman, she run. When a man really pursuing a woman, she run. When a man pull back, then she come. So who get the women? The most women, the rich guys who got multiple women, the athletes who got multiple women, the dope boys who got multiple women. So because they got multiple women, he got a Monday woman, he got a Tuesday woman, Wednesday, Thursday, what have you. So he got a Monday, Wednesday, Friday. The woman, she get hit up Monday, Wednesday, Friday. Got another woman, she get hit up Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday. Got another woman, she just get hit up on Sunday and Wednesday. And it's 24 hours in a day. So he may give 15 minutes on the phone, and then he might text the other 45 minutes of communication. Or he may give this woman an hour, he may give this woman an hour, but he still got 22 more hours in his day. So now these women, they like, man, he busy, like he a hustler, he a go-getter, like he's so busy. And then the woman is fantasizing about this man, and then all she getting is just his vacation time. Like she getting his good time. She not dealing with his trash and his trauma and his junk. So she just having this amazing, hyped up, feeling so good time, so that when he's away, she thinking about him 24 hours of the day. Then she start to dream about him. And now she thinking the Lord giving her dreams about this man. The Lord done showed her this man is her husband. And all it is just him being detached, him being away, and her absence making the heart grow fonder. That's all it is. But it's a mind game. And then we are conditioned, women are conditioned to not want who wants them, but to want who doesn't want them. So a woman will turn her back on a good man and, disrespect and ignore a good man, and then go to a bum of a man who she think is cool, sexy, secure, well-to-do, and all of this, and all he finna do is just rake her over the coals and dog her out. But the good man who checking on in the morning, checking on in the afternoon, checking on at night, ugh, girl, he just like a bugaboo. My goodness, like, can I breathe? But then the man who won't call every day, then she like, girl, he don't even call me every day. I miss him so much. Why he won't call me? Man, I want him to call me. And that right there is the trick of the human brain, where we are not women. Most women are not seeking love. You're seeking approval. So if you could get this man that don't want you, now you feel like the star cheerleader. Now you feel like the homecoming queen. Now you feel like Miss It. So you want a man that every other woman want. But then the man who wants you, you don't want him because his teeth got butter on it. He could brush his teeth. When he start talking to you and he see that he talking to you a lot, he gonna start brushing his teeth. He ain't brushing his teeth because he ain't got nobody to talk to yet. He don't know how to dress. When you get him an outfit for his birthday and you start showing him, hey, where it is, he gonna learn how to dress. His hygiene ain't the best. Well, that's because I remember I met a woman like that in college. Met her first time, got down there around that there, smelled like dead fish. I almost lost it all. I almost went to see the king. But after we started dating, because I just was like, okay, maybe this is an off day. Maybe this is an off day. I don't know what this is, what is going on. I only smelled something like this one time in my life, and this was in college. And then after a little while, the next time could have probably been about the next time, everything was clean and clear. Everything was all together. And so I was like, man, sometimes people just need to be inspired. Sometimes people just got to feel like somebody want them to look in the mirror and start taking better care of themselves. And so that's the thing. You gotta like who like you, or at least pay a little attention to it. Now they could like you for the wrong reasons. So you have to see, does this man like you because he is seeking approval? Or does he like you because y'all are actually looks compatible and y'all on the same level, but you don't realize that that's your level and you shooting your shot higher because you seeking approval. And that's what you got to really think about. So when you are dealing with this man, you have to know your standards, and then you have to allow him to pursue you. And then you have to take your time. So I remember meeting a woman, and on the first day, she talking about, boo, I'm gonna throw it up in my mouth. Because one thing that real men do not like is not assertive, aggressive women. And it's some women that they be like licking asphalt, like just how aggressive they are. And that is so unattractive. When a woman just, you know what, you are so sexy. Why are you so sexy? What I do to you? Ugh. Ugh. Give me a throw up bag. Disgusting. But it's a lot of women like that. I remember doing a seminar. Here I am as a married man. I'm teaching the seminar. After the seminar, here come this cool up there to me. She walk up to me. Hey, Tony Gaskin. For one, I almost passed out from the weed on her. I mean, it's a bunch of them too. Munchkins. All of them smelling like weed. And then they coming up there to get a picture and all that. I'm like, Lord, this my audience. My goodness. Like, Lord, why you ain't put me with the audience with people who wear women got on blazers and jeans? These women coming in here and that's how a man look at that type of woman. When you are overly aggressive, you're overly flirtatious, you're using pet names, and you just met, it's like, okay, she ain't used to nothing. She ain't used to nothing. You know how people say, and I don't like this terminology, but I've heard it said, and they be talking about light-skinned people. And they be like, you acting light-skinned. You'll be like, oh, you text like a light-skinned girl. You know where that come from? It comes from the colorism. It comes from certain light-skinned people being treated better than darker-skinned people. And so when you get a bunch of attention and you really like him or you really her, then you don't have a lot of time for people. So you don't give a lot because you're used to getting a lot. So with that type of woman, you could text her a paragraph and she texts you back okay. But it's 20 guys that's in her DM and on her phone. And she trying to sort through and see who's who and who she interested in and who she want. Some women let it go to their head and they become loose because they end up sleeping with all of these different men going through the rigmarole. But they got a lot of options and they can move around. And if you notice, a lot of times, if you notice like women who have been deemed as pretty, most of them don't really stick around. Like they don't put up with a lot. So when we look at the public relationships and we see how many relationships we've seen, like Lori Harvey in, and that Halle Berry, like I don't know if she got a husband now, or like Jennifer Lopez, how she would leave a relationship. You know how Mariah Carey left Nick Cannon. It's like women who have been made to feel like she's her. They may be insecure still, but they have developed that I'm going to stand on my standards. And if you ain't going to do right, I'm out of here. Every woman should be that way. Every woman should be that way. I remember that. I remember a young lady I tried to mess around with when I was 16, just because I was around her all the time. And just being a young man, your thing stand up if the wind blow hard. And y'all, some of y'all here remind me, y'all know I tell this story, and she had a thick tongue. And she like, I don't really do that. When I was trying to, get my little something, she like, I don't really do that. And I was sitting there like, what? Like, cause at that time I'm messing with just top of the line. And then I'm thinking I'm finna do her a favor. I'm thinking I'm finna get her experience. Because my girlfriend at the time was the prettiest girl in the school, and I was a ninth grader. So here I am, and then here go this young lady. She twice my size. She live in the hood. They ain't had no microwave. They lights be off every other day. I mean, they was struggling. So I'm thinking I'm finna do her a favor. Like, and she turned me down. You know what? I never forgot that to this day, and I respect her because it was women who was deemed as beautiful that would be on their bike on the first night. And here go this young lady who I she never had a boyfriend. Not before then, and for as long as I knew her after that, she never had a boyfriend, but she still had standards. And so it's like, if somebody who is being overlooked because they not wearing booty shorts and they not fast and they not sticking their tongue out with their tongue ring and they not, doing all kind of stuff with guys. So she just being overlooked. People, they judging her for whatever reason. But it's women who look just like her, who keep a boyfriend, who stay on her bike. And then it's women who look different than her. And beauty's in the eye of the beholder. But all these women on their bike, and then here go, you meet some women and they got standards. And they're like, okay, I got a little bit different body type, and I ain't finna sleep with you just because my body type is not the same as the girl that you worshiping. Or, oh, I got this right here different, or that right there different. Okay, I ain't finna sleep with you just because you think I'm less than, just because you think you God's gift to women. And that's the type of energy and confidence that every woman needs to have, because you're gonna attract the man that's for you. But what's gonna happen is, when you turn that man down and you're not when you turn him down sexually, and then you're not chasing him, and you're not flirting with him, and you're not desperate, and you're not thirsty, guess what? You show him. You show him that you are a catch. You ain't somebody, like they said, many fish in the sea. You ain't the one he finna throw back. Cause he's like, oh, hold on now. Cause you got to remember this. Uh-oh, I done sent a voice note. Oh, my son texted me. I thought I sent him a voice note.
Not even exaggerating. Mom just made the most delicious jerk chicken I've ever had in my life. Like, she made these jerk chicken wings, and oh my goodness, they're falling off the bone. First of all, the meat is so tender, and you know me, I don't even give compliments like this. Oh my goodness, the flavor on it has a nice kick, but like the jerk flavor is perfect. It's not too dark and like it's not like too much of like a whiskey-ish flavor. It's nice and spicy, but really flavorful. It's not overbearing, not too salty. Like, I don't know. This is just like, whenever you have these, genuinely the best chicken mom's ever made. Like, ever. It's just, ooh-wee.
Hey, I'm about to go home now. I'm about to head to the house. I got to head home. He get out of school early today. It's 1:30. He get out of school early today. I got to head home for that flavor be the chain. Let me tell my wife real quick. Y'all give me 1 second. Let me text my wife. Tell her, hey, take that chicken. Y'all gotta forgive me. You know what? It was people online saying that I'm jealous of the podcasters. Can I help y'all understand now why I ain't got nothing to be jealous of? When I got a son like that, both my sons like that, hitting their daddy up, talk better than they daddy, proper speaking, talk better than they daddy, better education than they daddy, grateful, humble, hard working, accept reproof. When I told my son you grinded Friday night, he ain't changed words with me. Okay. All right, Dad. That's cool. Just like that. Wife at the house cooking. It's one in the day. Food ready. Well, I'm fit to be jealous of another man. Back to the story. So you got to take and realize this, that when you have this type of confidence, the man says, okay, wow, if she's not going to sleep with me right now, and I got all this right here going, that let me know she ain't sleeping with the next man and the next man and the next man. On the flip side, you come off of it. Okay, she's sleeping around. If you not chasing him, then he like, oh, if she ain't chasing me, she's not a type of woman that's thirsty and chasing. She's not a chaser. And so now he like, okay, she is a catch. She is a prize. I got to have her. And so you got to really believe this and you got to stand on this. Now, once you get together with the guy, we're going to go about an hour because I got to get home, get some of this food. I got to coach a client in 50 minutes, though. I'll be on the phone with phone on mute. Jerk chicken up. And y'all wouldn't text my wife. Let her know I'm headed home. I'm coaching home. Nah, I'll be all right. And so this is what you got to realize. Once you get with the man, now you could take and you have to be consistent. Because I remember I was working with the NBA, and the NBA has a pre-draft combine. And at the pre-draft combine, not only do they play and stuff like that, but we have mentoring sessions. And so they flew me up to Chicago for the pre-draft. That it happens in May. And then in August, we do the rookie transition program where all the drafted rookies come and they do another like mentorship week. But at the pre-draft combine, we there. And I remember we sitting in there, and one of the guys, he balled out in the league. It's confidential, so I can't say his name. But we in there with some other guys that was in the room. They NBA champions now, got multiple rings. And we sitting in the room, and the guy was like, yeah, man, one thing I hate is whenever I go down here, I go down to the chick house and I'm trying to smash, and she talking about, oh, I don't do that. I don't do that this early. I don't do that with somebody that's not my boyfriend. And I'm like, I know my homeboy up the street just hit you, but you trying to tell me you don't do that because you know I'm finna go to the league. So now you trying to act like a wife. And that's the thing. Guys know that. We already know that women will put on a front and try to be classy and try to hold out. So a man is gonna, when you tell a man you a virgin, if you tell a man you abstinent, he finna test you to see. He finna see if you really like that. So guess what? He gonna say, okay, she all that. All right, let me put her in this helicopter. Okay, boom, let me put on this first class flight. Boom, let me put her in the Rolls Royce, rent the Rolls Royce. Boom, put her in the Lambo. Okay, boom, let me get her favorite cocktail, her favorite wine. Boom, let me get her this Chilean sea bass and this asparagus at Prime, Ocean Prime. Boom, boom, boom. He finna hit you with everything. If he put a little bit of a ensemble together, and then you spread eagle, he lose all respect for you. Lose all respect for you. You got to know who you are, and you got to stand on what you stand on. And these little uglies, they hate me for this. They hate me for giving away this kind of game and then making it harder for them to get over on women. And that's why I share this with every woman you know. Share this with every woman you know. We finna sew the game up. All this right here playing, all this playing with God and fornicating, we shutting it down. We shutting it down. You's an absolute fool of a woman if you get on your back with a man before marriage after you done heard this message. And when you don't listen, you getting up with an incurable STD just because you know better and you chose not to do better. You are getting up with an incurable STD, and that's what I'm trying to spare you from. Make a man marry you. It's like everybody that has sex. We all know what it is. We all know it ain't what it cracked up to be. It is not all of that. If you think sex is all of that, you're a nasty pervert. It is sex. It is not the end of the world. It's not the beginning of the world. It ain't gonna change your life. It ain't gonna save your life. It could ruin your life. It could destroy your life. You could have something that you can't get rid of. And if you don't get the right mentality about it and turn your pain into purpose, you're going to suffer the rest of your life. So that's what you got to realize. Like this a gamble. And when you get with the man, you got to stay consistent. Now, this next part, we're going to sum it up to emotional intelligence. The woman who does not cry over a man, that's the woman who wins. The woman who does not yell at a man, that's the woman who wins. The woman who does not curse at a man, that's the woman who wins. Anytime that you as a woman will get out of character, you let a man know he has control over you. If he could push your buttons and make you dance, push your buttons, make you holler, push your buttons, make you cry, push your buttons, make you curse, he controls you. Mission complete. You his slave. You have to be able to remain emotionally intelligent. If you got to go cry in the shower and wash your hat out so that you could say the water got your eyes red, you got soap in your eye. Don't ever let a man see you sweat, even if you got to wear a towel around your neck. Because as soon as a man know he can get you out your element, he can get you out your character, he know he own you. No matter where you try to go, what you try to do, he know, oh, push this button. You be just like one of them little toys we buy our kids that they push the button and say, hello. Push the next one. How are you? Push the next button. I love you. Push the next button. Come back again later. That's how he doing you. That's how he doing you. He pushing them buttons. Hey, make sure you click the link in the description now. You just coming on here. Make sure you click the link in the description. Look at the YouTube investment opportunity. All the information is there. I hope you could join us. So you got to be emotionally intelligent. Now, this last part I'm going to share because I got to get home and touch this here jerk chicken, which this right here could be it is a book. Go to Amazon.com, get my book, Mrs. Right. It's purple with white cursive on it. Mrs. Right. That's the book. Read Mrs. Right. And then the other purple and white book is called A Woman's Influence. Read that. A Woman's Influence is on audiobook. Mrs. Right is just only in print. It's not on audiobook. And this is the thing. This other thing I'm going to put in here after the emotional intelligence is, in order to keep a man, you have to be willing to lose a man. And what I mean by that is, a man has to know that you don't play the radio. He has to know that you will get up and go. He has to know. If a man sees that you will put up with anything, he gonna give you anything. He gonna put you through everything. If he sees you'll put up with anything, he's going to put you through everything. The only time you get a man respect is when you check him and you let him know, hey, that's not cool and I don't tolerate that. So if you want to be with me, all that right there, that has to be 100% shut down and out the way. Because if that happened again, that'll be the last time you see me, I promise you, on everything I love. And you have to let him know that. And he has to, if you say it while you boohoo crying, he don't believe you. If you say it while you yelling, he don't believe you. But if you say it with a sober mind and a sober voice, room tone voice, now he know you serious. And that's what you have to be willing to walk away. Now, here's what I want you to understand, especially when you're dealing with a man with trauma, who come from trauma. If a man is of color, he has trauma. And when I say of color, I'm not just talking about black, Hispanic, Indian, Asian. If a man is of color, because the one thing that is treated bad and discriminated against in the world is color. Even in India, they got the caste system. Color is universally discriminated against in some capacity. If the whole island is all black, the people who is a certain color would get the better jobs and the better treatment. It could be darker in some places, and some places it may be the lighter that's favored. But from my travels around the world, the lighter is always treated better. The darker may be feared more. The darker may be respected more. The darker may be stronger emotionally or physically sometimes. But now we're not seeing that in athletics. Athletics, a lot of biracial, black and white people are running the athletics game, got all the records, winning all the championships. So I don't know if God trying to send us a message to say we need to come together and unite or what. But I've been noticing that. It used to just be pure African genetics. You got the purest African genetics, you're gonna be the best athlete in anything you do. But now we're seeing a mix up. But one thing about a man, wife said I was gonna make crispy fries to go with it, but y'all gonna eat all the chicken before dinner. Sure, might want me some rice and peas now. And so this the thing. You have to be willing to walk away. And in every relationship, I want you to understand this, that 9 out of 10 relationships, the woman has to walk away in order for that relationship to work. Because what a man needs to see, and every man gonna want to see this, it's some white men too that's like this. But white men, unless he is from the hood or the trailer park, white men typically don't really have trauma. Like you're not gonna meet a lot of white men with trauma. And sometimes they could be from the suburbs and have trauma, but it's something to do with their daddy, like we're just working too much or something like that. And their mom might have been their dad prostitute or a stripper. Sometimes those rich white guys have trauma. But other than that, white guys don't really have a lot of trauma because in America, especially just because it was set up for them and it was built for them. So they had the nice household, mom and dad, mom stay-at-home mom on average. There are exceptions to the rule, but get what I'm saying? Not every single person. But you rarely meet, I don't think I've ever met a man of color without trauma. Or like some type of jaded mindset, some type of just mindset is a little warped because of what he's seen, what he's experienced. And so you're going to have to walk away. But the thing about it is you want to walk away as early as possible. What I mean by this is, let me explain this, is when a man shows a red flag that you don't want to be multiplied by 3 in marriage, you have to call him out and shut it down. If he tries you again in that area, you have to say, hey, this is not going to work. It was great knowing you, but this not going to work. And you got to and say, so I wish you the best. And you get off the phone. If he does not chase you, his ego is too big to be a husband. He may actually want you and not chase you, but at that point, his ego is too big to be a good, faithful husband. So let him go. If you got to cry all day, every day for the next 7 days, then cry. Go through what you got to go through, but let him go. If he chases you and you feel like he is the one and you take him back, you start all over. You don't pick up where you left off from. Because when we initially come back as men after being ran off, we come back with resentment. We come back to make you pay first. So if you let us pick up where we left off, we're going to make you pay. You got to say, hey, after you done ignored the calls for the first few days, if you the one, he going to keep calling you past him. Either he crazy or you the one. But you're going to find out soon. So when you answer the call after what I call the 72-hour rule, what I wrote about in the book, A Woman's Influence, then you talk to him and say, listen, like, what are you, like, what is your goal with this? Like, are you that demented as a person that you just want to come back into my life to like break me, to destroy me, to hurt me, versus just letting me walk away unscathed? You got to ask that question. You have to ask that question, just like how I just said it, but in your little feminine voice. You got to ask that question. Because if he got that spirit a little ugly on him, it's going to be like a spiritual sword that you just stuck, pierced his heart. He can be like, oh my goodness, she sees me. Now, he can have that spirit and tell you, no, that ain't what he want to do. He want to love you forever. And then he still dog yacht now. So that's why you always got to be ready to go if he's not going to do right. If he is a real man and he wants to do right, it don't take us long. Like once you show us what to do, we tradesmen. We pick up trades fast. We learn fast. Once you show us how you want to be treated and what we got to do to keep you in our life and for you to keep us in your life, we know how to treat you. We know we will play dumb to see if you're going to let us play dumb. We will act like we imperfect and we got to keep messing up to see if you're going to believe that. If you're going to believe that, then we're going to keep on doing it. But if you're going to say, I'm out of here, playboy, got to go. In your words now, guess what? We're going to get it together. ASAPula. We're going to get it together immediately. We finna get it together. You cannot be no ride or die chick because you're going to be the die chick. If you is a ride or die chick, you're going to die. You got to be a ride chick, not or die. Ride meaning as long as he going the right way at the right speed limit, in the right type of mindset, in the right direction, then you stay in the car with him, you ride with him, and y'all going to the promised land. But if he's speeding, if he breaking the law, if he in a stolen car, if he spend too much time at the rest stop, if he keep doing donuts, he keep turning around, he keep getting off on the exit, going by the other way, then you got to get out and you got to go on about your business. Because he's not on the road to destiny, he's on the road to destruction. And you got to recognize and realize that, and you got to let Lil Ugly do what Lil Ugly gonna do. Go ahead about your business, man. Go ahead. I could do bad by myself, and I could do better by myself. Go ahead, man. Let him go. And then once you realize and you understand that, now you're in a better place. When you're not afraid to walk away. And so this walk away period typically gonna be at the 30-day mark, at the 90-day mark, at the 9-month mark, or at the 1-year mark. You cannot stay. You cannot ignore red flags. You cannot stay more than a year. If you reinforce red flags for 12 months plus, it's going to be a snowy day in Satan house before that man change. You have played with it too long. You don't wound them up like a jack in the box too much. You don't reinforce it too much. He don't respect you. The faster you cut him off, the more he gonna respect you. Because what a man is trying to do is he trying to see how far he can push you. He trying to see how much can he get away with, because he wants the path of least resistance. He wants the easiest woman he can find. So to check a box as he got a wife. So he will check a box for society that he has a wife, but he will be glad if you are a concubine. He will be glad if you into threesomes. He will be glad if you give hall passes for him to go cheat. He will be glad if you let him beat on you when he's angry, if you let him curse you out and be verbally and emotionally. He will be ecstatic, even though it will be to his detriment, even though he will end up killing you or killing himself because of feeding that demon, that spirit a little ugly. He doesn't realize it. Like, he don't care, because that's that possession. So a man will push you. Every man is going to test you to see what is your breaking point. The faster you break and you get out of there, the faster he knows how much more support he got to put on your bridge in order for you to be able to hold more weight. But if you get up out of there, you break for it quick. Now he know, okay, this gonna take some time. I'm gonna have to take my time. I'm gonna have to grow. I'm gonna have to learn. I'm gonna have to heal. I'm gonna have to do right, because this woman here, it ain't gonna pan out, because she not finna put up with much. Like, all I did was yell. She talking about she can't do it no more. I got to get it together. And guess what? It's a lot of egotistical men who will let you go because they lame. They lame, and they listening to lames online. They listening to punks online. They listening to the red pill guys. They literally letting, excuse my French, computer nerds. They letting computer nerds tell them how to treat a woman. They absolute lames. They letting guys who never got women growing up tell them how to treat a woman. They letting the butthurt, bitter, angry men who done been dogged out or overlooked by women their whole life tell them how to treat a woman, because now the man is grown and he got a little bit of chest and a little bit of arms, got him some money, and got him a following online. So now he all of a sudden got all the advice about how to be a man, how to be a player, how to be stoic, how to be an alpha male and all of that. And he's a slap lame. All the way shot out lame. Upside down, flipped inside out lame. And he giving advice, but because these other men who listening to these guys is so lame themselves, they can't tell who really was him and who wasn't him, because they just looking at who the man is now, but they don't have the knowledge and the understanding to look at a man who he was in elementary and middle school and high school. And that's how you gonna know what kind of cloth he cut from. And some men was him they whole life, but they was him and they felt ugly though. And they was him on the football field, but they wasn't really him with the ladies until he got money and he got ranked in the state, or he got some clout. Then he got the ladies. But by that time, he was so insecure that he always kept that insecurity. So now, even though he a millionaire with a following and all of this right here, he's still insecure, because he wasn't him before he was a star athlete and before he had money. And so he has insecurity and he operates from insecurity. So that's what you have to realize. And these the messages that's going out. So it's a lot of men, but see what real men understand and what most men don't understand is that a real man is a giver. A real man is chivalrous. A real man give everything to the woman. Let her have it. Like, you could have it because I'm a king. You could have it because I'm a go-getter. Like, you could be a princess. You could rest easy. I'm gonna rest your mind. I'm gonna rest your body. I'm gonna let you rest when I accept my priesthood, when I step into my kingship. Then you have rest as a woman. So you don't understand that. And I had to go through that phase of like being a woman hater, in the sense of like feeling like the woman was my opponent instead of my teammate. That's why I got that quote that went viral that said, when a man understands a woman is his teammate and not his opponent that he has to beat, but instead he could win with her. And that it went viral. I be seeing the little relationship Instagrams posted all the time. But that's what I was talking about, because we wired as men, we taught as men to compete with a woman, to trick and deceive and manipulate a woman. That's how we taught as men, to get a woman mind, not just what's between her legs, but to get what's between her ears. And that is destructive. That's the man law. That's the guy code, and it's destructive. It leads to broken homes. It leads to broken children. And that's why I'm giving away the game, to try to reverse. Even if I can only touch 100 homes or 1,000 homes or 10,000 homes, I'm cool with it. But I want to reach who I could reach, so we could reverse the destruction of the quote unquote guy code, the quote unquote man law. Oh, I wrote a book called The New Guy Code. Get that for you. Get that for your teenage sons. It's called The New Guy Code. The references is old because it's referencing like 50 Cent and different people like that, because they was hot back then. I mean, 50 still on now. It's called The New Guy Code. It's on Amazon. Get that right there. That's for men. That's a book for men. It really could be teenagers, really. If it's an immature man, he still got a lot of growing to do. If you know you that man, then go get that book, The New Guy Code. But hey, get this in your spirit. I told my wife I was gonna wait till she make whatever else she make. She said, "No, it's okay. You can have some." She want me to come home and sing them praises. Watch, I'm finna go. I'm gonna take me one bite, then I'm gonna fall on the floor, and then I'm gonna crawl to her feet, and then I'm gonna kiss her feet. Listen, that's what a real man could do, because when you really know you him, you don't have you stop asking for control. You stop asking for respect. You stop doing all that when you really become him. I had to go through this maturation process, so I know what it's like to be peon, and I know what it's like to be him. Trust me when I tell you. And when you get to that place to where you loving your woman, you're not competing with her, guess what? She want to cook for you. She want to make love to you. She want to submit to you. She want to hear your plan. She want to hear your vision, because you're not cheating on her. You're not beating on her. You're not cussing out. You're not yelling at her. You're not being mean. You treating her gentle. You treating her like a queen, because the more gentle you could treat a woman, the stronger she knows you are. You gotta think of it like if a warrior who got the deadliest hands is about to deal with a woman, is he going to deal with her harshly or gently? Because he know in a snap he could take a man life. So he know that woman, she 10% of the challenge that a man pose. So he gonna be even more gentle. He gonna help heal her pain. When she mad and she go to beating on his chest, he just taking it. He taking it, then he grab her arms and he say, "Hey, calm down. Calm down. I know you upset. I know you love your mom. I know it's gonna be okay. It's gonna be okay." He not finna get up in arms and get angry with her. "What the such and such you doing? Calm the such and such down. I'm tired of this such and such. Why?" And we done all as men been through that. We done been through that phase. We go through it. But see, a man got to hear about this right here too. And see, this is what men don't realize a lot of times. Like, oh, he getting with the game, he getting with the game. If you sit down and listen, you realize that the game go both ways. Even if I'm talking to the men, the women still can learn from that. Even if I'm talking to the women, men still can learn from that. Now, see, this is what you got to be careful of, though. And this is why you got to stand on what you stand on. You got to know who you are, because Lil Ugly watching this. Lil Ugly watches this to know how far he gonna have to go to trick this woman. What he gonna have to do, how much he got to put in to trick this woman. So Lil Ugly know scripture. Lil Ugly know the game. Lil Ugly coming to learn from Himothy so that he can go out and pretend to be Himothy so that he could trick these women by being Mr. Perfect, Mr. Right, Mr. Chivalrous, but he's still butthurt and he's still insecure. He's still weak. He's still a fornicator. He's still an adulterator. So he want to play the game at the highest level. So he listened to this from the highest level because he know this all the game. He know Like, man, this man ain't saving nothing. His man ain't saving no room for him to cheat on his wife. Like the guy with the dreads doing, and like Swole Buddy doing, and like these other fake relationship coaches doing, just giving 50, 60, 70% of the game so they still could get their little rocks off. They ain't giving away the 120% of the game, 150% of the game. They not talking on live while talking to their wife and their kids on live and giving away game. They got to sit down in front of a camera with some note cards put up right beside the camera or transcript, and they got to do a 15-minute video and stiff with it. They 3 ways to know that a man is into you. Number 1, number 2, number 3. Make sure you hit the like and subscribe button, and I will be back tomorrow with 3 more tips to know how a man wants you. Fake relationship coaches ain't giving away no game. Ain't really telling you nothing. They just clickbaiting you. 3 ways this, 5 ways this, 7 ways this, 7 ways. It just clickbait. But then people are talking about, oh, Tony jealous. No, I'm just exposing the lanes. I'm exposing the frauds. What do I have to be jealous of? Because if I was jealous, I would just copy the game. I would just do the same thing and just run it up. Like, I got less subscribers than the frauds because I tell the truth. And when you tell the truth, you step on toes. When you tell the truth, people don't want to hear that. But I could come on here and do all the thumbnails, 3 this, 3 that, 3 this, 7 this, 5 this, 7 this, all this, 5, 6, 7, 8, 6, 7, 8, 7, 8. I come on here and do all the little tricks of the trade and just run the numbers up. But I come on here intentionally to offend people because I want to offend you up out that sin. I want to offend you up out them games. I want to offend you up out that toxicity. And there's so many women that come to me and say, Tony, I unfollowed you. I unfollowed you. You hurt my feelings. You made me mad. I thought you was this. I thought you was that. But then it took about a year or however long they say. And then I came back around to your videos and I realized that all you were doing was telling the truth. I remember one of my NBA clients, lottery pick, top 10 pick, top 7 pick, came to me 5 years later. He said, Tony, man, I just want to apologize because when I first met you, I just assumed that maybe you would be just like all the rest of these guys, that you wanted something from me. He said, but now I realize all you ever wanted to do was to help. I was like, hey, man, ain't no problem, man. God bless you, man. Appreciate you. Because he saw something that I did for a college team. And he saw me go in and work with their college team and encourage those guys for free. He saw me do it every single month. And he knows speakers like me get $10,000 to $25,000 a pop. And he saw me do that every single month. And not just coaching the players, but coaching their parents, coaching their girlfriends, coaching their friends, coaching the coaches, being a life coach to everybody for $0. And then we won in my second year with the team. First year got shut down because of the pandemic. The second year with the team, we won a national championship. I got an NCAA national championship ring. And there was other speakers who spoke to the team, but they didn't do it on the level that I did it. They didn't fly in every month and sometimes twice a month. They ain't do that. And so when that guy seen that, he was already in the NBA. He was already a pro. He was like, man. And see, that's the thing, is that it's going to come a day where men start to realize what a real man is. It's going to come a day. And so all I want to do is help you. I don't want nobody to fail, male or female. I don't want nobody to fail. I don't want nobody brand to be ruined. I don't want nobody life to be ruined. I don't want nobody career to be ruined. But I want us to come out of sin, come out of fornication, come out of adultery, come out of covetousness, come out of all of that right there and live right and do the right thing. Child, I ain't even home. I thought my wife was at home. She said she just finished her eyebrow appointment. Did I try them yet? And see, that right there, that's what I want as a husband. My wife, she out get her eyebrows done. Yesterday, day before, get her nails done. They couple days before that, getting a facial. That's what a man, a real man. When you become a real man, you want your woman to have a soft life. I want my life to be hard. I don't mind being out here in these YouTube streets going to war. I don't mind these clowns talking about me, beating up on me. But you online, you see how these clowns and loose booty women be bashing me and talking bad about me when you know the heart of my message. And then they say, well, why your wife don't coach? I'm the protector of my wife. You think I'm finna put my wife up here when she got to be mentally stable for our kids? You think I'm finna bring my wife over here? I would be in prison for murder if my wife came up here and she had to go through the mashup videos that I go through. And the video, man, I'll be done laid somebody down all the way 100% because I love my wife the way Christ loved the church. And just like vengeance is mine, says the Lord, and the Bible tells the wife, submit unto your husband as unto the Lord. So guess what? If vengeance is mine, said the Lord, who gonna take vengeance for my wife? Me, her husband. So that's why I don't sit my wife down with perverts on nobody podcast. I don't have my wife walking around shaking these nasty men hand that they wearing out with Angela all the time. I don't have my wife in front of jealous and bitter women, because outside of this space here, the women that be outside of this right here be jealous and bitter and nasty because they be listening to little uglies. They be listening to them demonic spirits, and they buy into it, and they can't tell the difference between a real man and a fake man. And so that's right there is what you get as a woman. You're gonna attract a husband who's gonna love you and cherish you and respect you because you teach him how to treat you by what you stop, what you allow, and what you reinforce. You set the tone. But hey, it's Tony Gaskin. Uh-oh. Wife checking up to see if they finished her car yet. Make sure you click the link in the description. God bless you. If you missed any of this, rewind it to the beginning. Y'all got to forgive me. Like my videos are natural. They in the element. I don't have stuff pre-recorded. Like this is pre-recorded. Now, this not live, but I mean, while I'm doing it, I don't have note cards and all of that. And then my families, I have my phone up so I can see if they write me just in case somebody need me. Sometimes I, do not disturb if I'm doing a straightforward video and just the Holy Spirit just flowing directly without any extra analogies and all of that right there. So if you're new here, just understand that's how we get down over here. It's a family. It's relaxed. It's laid back. If this is a premiere, I don't know if I'm gonna set it as premiere or not, but if it is premiering, shout out to the moderators and to the support and everybody in the Blessed Tribe. If you in the Blessed Tribe, I thank you. And thank you to Joya, who be gifting memberships. God bless you. If you want to be in the Blessed Tribe, you'll see the little button under the video. It says join, and you click that right there. I don't know the different sign up options and all of that, but you'll see it. And to all my partners on the YouTube channel who have already visited the link in the description, thank you. I appreciate you. I'm hoping we hit the minimum so that we could do business together and so that you could partake in the future earnings of the channel. And so that's my hope. And so tell your friends and family about it. You got friends and family who they might not even be on YouTube, but want them a little drop in the bucket each month. Don't know how much it's gonna be because it's all speculative. But I'm here. You see the work I put in now. You see my motto, what I believe in, consistency. So I ain't going nowhere. I'm gonna be here because I'm trying to build the largest church online, the largest growth and self-development church or hub on YouTube. It's gonna take some time because the truth hurt. The truth step on people's toes. And then when you confident, see, when you're a black man, they want you to be dumb. Even a lot of black people, they want you to be dumb because they don't want you to be intimidating. They don't want you to be offensive. So it's hard to build a audience a support group when you are a confident, strong, assertive, God-fearing black man, because this society has been created for us to just be Sambos, shuck and jive. So if I was doing nonsense podcasting, or if I was living a lie, or if I was talking about God and then living a different life, I would have 10 million subscribers already, just because of having a way with words and looking halfway decent. But when you have common sense, they got to suppress you because they know you could start a movement that help get your people out of the mud, out of the muck, out of the mess, and start to elevate. And they know that you can get your people to have healthy marriages and healthy homes, and that is a fear. Nobody want that, because we already the best athletes. We already the best musicians. We already the best artists. So it's like, man, is black people God chosen people, because they don't even get skin cancer. They go sit in the sun all day and don't get skin cancer. Rarely. Like, black people is our own worst enemy with sugar diabetes because of how we eat, trying to take care of our trauma. We eating for our trauma. But if you notice, a lot of black people don't really have just like natural causes, just died of natural causes. It's typically what we do to ourselves. Now, yeah, there's exceptions to the rules. There's a lot of, we get cancer and everything like that too. But when you look at the genetic makeup, it's a lot of fear and trepidation. And so that's what you got to understand, is that's why it's hard for me to build, because I'm building as a prototype. I'm not building as no shucking and jiving, double talking hypocrite that's going to talk one thing and live another. That's why all the fake gurus blow up so fast when they rapping about the money and all that. They talking about the money, they talking about the crime, they whoever. If you fake, you're going to go fast because you working for the devil. If you real, you're going to go slow. People always ask me, I'm like, you ain't learned that yet? Like, you got, all you got to do is read the Bible and realize that the real going to be less popular. The real going to be talked about. The real going to be bashed. The real going to be ostracized. So you got to be ready for that, because if you over here and you getting this type of mindset, you can't expect everybody to like you. You can't expect everybody to relate to you. You can't expect everybody to be around you and want to be your friend. So you can't go out and expect every man to marry you, every woman to marry you. You can't expect that when you become peculiar, when you become set apart, when you thinking on another level. You're gonna be different. So when you dare to be different, you're gonna receive different. And when you finally receive what's for you, it's gonna be a gift that keep on giving. God have longevity. It take longer to get there, but when you get there, you last. And not only do you last, but the favor passed down from generation to generation, like Abraham. So that's what you got to realize. Take your time. Don't rush. Take your time. Don't rush. Hey, this is Tony Gaskin. Click the link in the description. Reason why I'm doing this, because if y'all new here and you don't know, I never promote myself, and I never promote what I got going on. And I never, so I'm trying to make more of a conscious effort, because my wife said, listen, if the fake promote themselves, why won't the real promote themselves? I said, wow. She said, every day I get emails from stores and they don't care about if I like it or not. She said, before you send your email, you always talking about, is this going to upset somebody's inbox? Is this going to ruin somebody's day? Am I bothering people by emailing them? She said, when you building a brand, you running a business, when you doing what you supposed to be doing, and you doing it from the right place with the right heart, you can't care about who get offended. If they get offended by you sending an email or you marketing yourself, that's somebody that's jealous of you, that don't mean you no good, and you don't want them in your audience anyway. This the wisdom that my wife gave me. That's another benefit of being married instead of fornicating. Hey, this on the guys. God bless you. We finished right on time. Hour and a half. We might as well go on, let it hit that hour and a half. Hey, everybody that's supporting me, because you have supporters, you have spectators, and you have haters. everybody that's supporting and everybody that ain't supporting. God bless you. I love you the same. God say love those, or bless those that curse you. Pray for those that persecute you. I'll see you soon.